Just last month we drove the absolutely mental EQS 53 AMG. That car you've seen and read a lot about it on Evo India, but that car is a CBU. The car you see next to me, this is the EQS 580. This car is locally produced at the Mercedes Benz Chakan plant in India. And it's very significant for Mercedes Benz because it's the first ever electric car that they have made in India. So let's take it for a spin and find out a lot more about this car. Design of the EQS is dominated by its drag coefficient. To keep drag as low as possible, designers came up with a one-bow design, which basically is the entire surface along one single sweep all the way from the front end to the boot lid. And it's done beautifully, integrating everything from the bonnet to the two windscreens and the roof in one seamless curve. So I was talking about the EQS being such a significant car for Mercedes Benz India, being the first electric car that is being manufactured at the Chakan plant. It's even more significant because it's only the second plant in the world after Germany where the EQS is being manufactured. So it shows how seriously Mercedes Benz India is taking electrification in India, the range of charging stations that they're planning across its dealerships, everything that Mercedes is planning in terms of the number of vehicles that are coming, the EQB, the EQS, the EQS AMG, and there are many more to come in the future. So yeah, I mean, electrification is going to be a big part of Mercedes-Benz India going forward. And this EQS is a tremendous start to the electrification journey. Of course, they've had the EQC in the past, but this is really going into another gear, right? So just last month when we were driving the EQS AMG, it's absolutely brutal, the acceleration and all that stuff. I mean, the performance is otherworldly for a car of that size, of almost 2.7 tons. This is about 80 or 100 kilograms lighter. But this car, I mean, being a non-AMG, the performance is insane. 516 horsepower, 855 Newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds. It's not an AMG, right? It's a relaxed, creamy, smooth, luxury barge. But that's how fast this car is. And that's what we've got to get used to with electric vehicles, with this level of performance among flagship electric vehicles. They'll all be fast. The EQS AMG that we drove about a month earlier had a drag coefficient of 0.23, which itself is amazing. But this car with its 20-inch wheels has an even lesser drag coefficient. In fact, the best in the world of any production car, it's 0.2. And that sort of helps it get its amazing 677 kilometers WLTP range. In the real world, you'll get anything above 500 with this car very, very easily. The ARI number is even crazier, some 857 kilometers, which is insane. You're never gonna get it, but it's good to have such a high number to boast about. Okay, so how does it get such a excellent range? It's got a 107.8 kilowatt hour battery, same as the EQS AMG, but then it's tuned to offer more comfort and luxury and a creamier power delivery and creamier torque delivery, so you don't eat up so much of the energy from the battery, and that's how it's giving you a lot more range than the EQS AMG. The EQS AMG is around 530 to 580 WLTP range. This gives you more than almost about 100 kilometers more than the EQS AMG, which is excellent. And in terms of space, the EQS, this is the flagship electric car. There is the S-Class, which is their flagship, the Mercedes flagship. But when it comes to EVs and when it comes to any EV in the world right now, the EQS is right at the top. So it's got a 3210 millimeter wheelbase, which is as much as a S-Class, almost similar to an S-Class long wheelbase. So it creates a lot of space on the inside, and it's got really short overhangs. So the majority of the space in the EQS is right here in the cabin. And with this massive sunroof and these light leather seats, There's so much space that is created on the inside. It really feels like a big car on the inside, not like something like a Taycan Turbo or a RS e-tron GT, which are a lot more hunkered down and sportier in their in the way they perform and in the way they feel. This is nice and comfortable and luxurious and pampering. It's got its special feeling, you know, something that you get in an S-Class. It's not a flagship, but it's a flagship EV for sure. This car's got aromatic suspension and it's got those adaptive dampers and everything. You can raise the ride height by 15 mm. So if you're seeing a speed breaker, you can increase the ride height. And it's also got geotagging. So you can actually tag the speed breakers around your area and set the suspension to raise its height around those speed breakers. And every time you pass through it, it will raise its ride height. How crazy is that? Another piece of interesting tech that a lot of Mercedes owners will probably be familiar about, the newer cars. This car has 2 cameras in front, and through the Mercedes Me app you make your account and you register the car to yourself. You can create your profile, and once you set your profile in, you set the height, your height in, the car will adjust the seat height. At the minute you sit in the car, the cameras will capture your face. It's got facial recognition, so the cameras will capture your image and understand that you're driving the car. And it's also got biometrics, so even through that you can connect to the car, and the seats will adjust to your driving position based on your height. And the best part is, you shift into any other car and you go through the whole biometrics or the recognition thing, and that car knows that you are Anand Mohan and your height is 178 centimeters, and the seats and everything will adjust according to you. These mirrors, you look at the mirrors and they adjust according to the place you are looking at based on the cameras in this car. So there's so much of tech going on. There's of course this Hyperscreen, which is class leading. I have never seen something like this. I mean, even the S-Class's biggish screen looks small compared to this. This is crazy. 3 screens, you've got your entertainment options, you got all your options here, you got your drive modes over here. When you go to home, you go to apps, you get your games and you can browse. You can do a lot of stuff on this. And you also, once you're set into your profile, you can go to music, media, and you get the option of online music, where if you're connected, you get the option of Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon Music directly connected over here. So you don't need to connect your phone to the car all the time for online music. There's so much of connectivity and so much of technology brimming in this EQS. It's quite amazing. The EQS gets a 10-degree steering angle for its rear axle, and that makes it really nimble around a series of corners on a tight winding road. It's quite surprising, despite its 5.2 meter something long car. The way it turns around corners is crazy. And this car of course is tuned for comfort, so the suspension, there is quite a bit of roll compared to say an EQS AMG, but still a quick car and quite nimble to drive. The first 500 customers get this 10 degrees of steering as a standard feature. After that, every new customer will have to pay for it. But it's one feature that you must get for this car because of its size and because you are going to be driving this car practically everywhere, considering how comfortable and how easy it is to drive. All these flagship cars, they have so much of sound insulation that you don't get to hear anything from the outside. And so in an electric car, that's even nicer. It's so quiet and relaxing, and still it's fast. It's crazy fast. The EQS 580 for a non-AMG packs in a lot of performance. 516 horsepower, 855 Newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds. And it's creamy and comforting and corsetting. It may not be the flagship luxury sedan from Mercedes Benz that of course is the S-Class. This is the flagship electric car from Mercedes Benz. Is this your flagship though? Let us know in the comments.